Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. This is me Ari Vahir. Yeah, we are on the channel of Medicare. So in this lecture, we are going to start the next autocoid, and this autocoid is about the serotonin. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed our first autocoids, which is a histamine. So I have decided that what are the autocoids. So actually, these are some substances which are secreted by your own body, and they are not hormones. They are actually we can call them hormone, but there is a difference. Like they are produced by some tissues of your some cells and some tissues, and produce the effect in the nearby cells, in the surrounding cells. But if we discuss the case of hormone, so it is produced by the glands, like endogenous gland or exogenous gland, and then it will travels through your body and then go at the specific target and act on it. So this is the major key difference, that autocoids act on the near place, like in the surrounding, but hormones act far away. But they can also be called as a hormone, but we have given them a special name which is called as autocoids. So the first autocoid we have discussed, the histamine. We have discussed antihistaminic drugs which are used to treat various kind of MSs, and we have discussed all of the cases for it. H1 antagonist and H2 antagonist. We have covered it all. So now the next autocoid is serotonin. Serotonin, also called as a 5 hydroxytryptamine, 5 HT, ठीक है, ट्राइप्टामाइन. सो जो सेरोटोनिन है, जिस तरह हमने हिस्टामिन का कहा था कि इट आल्सो एक्ट एज अ न्यूरो ट्रांसमीटर और आल्सो अ हार्मोन, सिमिलरली इज द केस विद द सेरोटोनिन. Serotonin also act as a neurotransmitter and also it is a hormone. Like it play a role in the as a hormone in GIT tract or in the platelets. So in GIT tract, its function is to increase the motility or increase the secretion, but it not always increasing the secretion. Sometimes it has stimulatory effect or sometimes it has inhibitory effect. Like if it bind to this receptor, this is a receptor 5ht4 receptor, if it binds with it, then it will increase the secretion. But if it bind with these receptors, th1 or 5ht3, so it will inhibit the secretions of git tract. Second, the function of the platelets is that they are present in the platelets in the form of granules, and they will released out when a particular kind of injury will happen. So you know platelets function is to form a blood clot. So when the platelets move toward that side where the injury is happening, so the platelets will release this serotonin, and as a result serotonin is a vasoconstrictor, so it will cause the vasoconstriction here and helps in the forming the blood clot at that side, and also prevent the blood loss by constricting that vessel in which the injury is occurring. Second, as a neurotransmitter, it present in the enteric nervous system of CNS. What is the function of it here? So here it act on the serotonergic nerves. So there are some nerves which are present on which the serotonin is binding. So these nerves on which serotonin as a neurotransmitter bind, these nerves are called serotonergic nerves. So they can call you that on what type of nerves serotonin is bind, so you should know it. So it important for the viva point of view. So what is the function of serotonin as a neurotransmitter? So what is doing here? So it controlling a lot of important functions like your mood, your appetite, it is controlling it, your temperature regulation, your sleep cycle, all of it is controlled by it. But one of the major function of it is to control your mood. So serotonin is a happy hormone. So whenever the levels of serotonin are very high, you feel happy, your mood changes, you will feel very happy. And when the level of serotonin is very low, you will feel sad. So it is a hormone which is controlling your mood, okay, at specific situation. So next thing is that where is the location where the serotonin is present and how they release. So they are present in the three sites as we have discussed. First is the brain. in brain acting as a neurotransmitter. So it present in the mid brain stem in the raphe nuclei, as I have drawn the brain here. So these two dots which I have drawn here, this dot and this dot, they two are the raphe nuclei. They are present in the mid brain stem, and from these nuclei this serotonin is released. And how the serotonin is produced, we will discuss it. Okay, second location of serotonin is in the platelets, as I have discussed you that in the platelets is present in the form of granules, and it will released out, causing vasoconstriction and help in the formation of blood clot. And third location is in the GIT tract. So in the GIT tract, enterochromaffin cells are present here. So in these cells its receptor is present, and it's going to bind at that side. So it causes the muscular construction in the GIT tract, and also increase the fluid, mean increasing the secretions. But how, we have discussed that. And mortality, it also increased the mortality only in upper GIT tract, decrease the mortality in lower GIT tract. So this is also a point. So now let's discuss how the serotonin is synthesized. We have discussed that it's present in your brain, in your GIT tract, and within your platelets also. But how it is produced? So actually, in order to production of it, we use a amino acid. As we have discussed in the previous autocoid, which is a histamine. Histamine is also produced through a amino acid, which is a histidine. So from histidine, the histamine is produced. So similarly is the case with the serotonin. It also produced through a amino acid, and which amino acid it produced through L-tryptophan amino acid. With the L-tryptophan amino acid, it undergoes the hydroxylase enzyme, causing the hydroxylation. Hydroxylation mean adding the hydroxide group. So after adding it, it will become 5 hydroxy tryptophan. यानी tryptophan के स्ट्रक्चर में फिफ्थ पोजीशन पे हाइड्रोक्सी मीन ओ एच ग्रुप अटैच हुआ है. तो ये चीज़ बन गई हमारे पास. उसके बाद इसकी होगी डी कार्बोक्सिलेशन, मीन देयर इज अ रिमूवल ऑफ carbon dioxide group. Okay, CO2 group is removed, and after that the product is final, which is 5 hydroxy tritamine. So ये प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा. हमने इसकी सिंथेसिस भी पढ़ ली. नाउ हाउ इट इज़ रिलीज्ड. ठीक है, serotonin stored in vesicles, as I have explained in the platelets also. So it present in the form of vesicles and released by the exocytosis from the membrane in response to a stimuli. So what are the factors which cause the release of it? Like what are the stimuli which causing the release of it? So first is the food intake. Whenever you are going to take the food, so it releases through your brain, through your GIT tract to increase the digestion process, and also release from the platelets. It's also released when you are exposed to sunlight, like you are exposed to some bright light or sunlight, so it also release at that time. So therefore that's very important to get the sunlight. Okay, but not too much. And also it releases when you are in the physical activity, like if you do a lot of exercises, so it releases out, and it's maintain effect towards the several days. So that's why you should make a physical activity should be a part of your life. And second, stress reduction. As your stress is reduced, serotonin levels will increase out. So therefore you should have to keep the stress level very low. So next we have now we have discussed about the serotonin. Now there are some kind of serotonin receptors are present in your body. So now we have seven receptors which are present in your body, from 5HT1 to 5HT7. So there are seven receptor. 5HT ये तो पहले ही था. आगे अब आपने 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 नंबर ऐड करने हैं सिर्फ. ठीक है, और ये कितने हैं टोटल? 7 ऐड करना है. अब now accept 5HT3 receptor. All the other receptors are G protein coupled. Mean 5HT3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, all are G protein coupled receptor. But this 5HT3 is a ligand gated ion channel. So it has a different nature. And how the G protein coupled receptor work, we have discussed it. How ligand gated ion channel works, we have discussed that, so I'm not repeating that. So where they are present. So the first receptor is this, it located in your brain, presynaptic neurons, it is present. Like if I am drawing here, so on this is a presynaptic neuron, okay, and now I am going to draw a, this is a postsynaptic neuron, okay. So from this presynaptic neuron the vesicles are present. This vesicle will diffuse with that membrane like that I have drawn here. Now it will release out. Now this serotonin is released out in the synapse. So this vesicle contains serotonin in it. Now it has released out in the synaptic cleft. Now on this postsynaptic membrane, these receptors are present. Sometime it present on the presynaptic nerve, sometime it present in the postsynaptic. So like in the presynaptic, this at that side the receptor is present, it gain up, okay. So it has some subtypes. Like this receptor has subtype A, B, D, E, and F. So if you can remember the subtypes of it, then very good. You should learn. But if you cannot, then it is not necessary to learn. But if you learn it, it's very good. So A, B, सिर्फ C नहीं है, बाकी सारे हैं F तक, ठीक है. अब बात करते हैं जी 5-HT2 रिसेप्टर की. सो इट आल्सो प्रेजेंट इन द ब्रेन, आल्सो प्रेजेंट पोस्ट साइनेप्टिकली और इन द पेरिफेरल टिश्यू. अगर पोस्ट साइनेप्टिकली होगा तो यहाँ पर इस वाले नर्व की मेम्ब्रेन के ऊपर इसके ये रिसेप्टर, बल्कि मैं रिसेप्टर्स को ना कुछ इस तरह की मेम्ब्रेन से शो करती हूँ ताकि आपको वाजिया नज़र आए, ठीक है. तो इस तरह की ये थी, इसके ऊपर कुछ इस तरह के रिसेप्टर्स ये प्रेजेंट होंगे, ठीक है, और उनके ऊपर आके ये बाइंड करेगा. सो पेरिफेरल टिश्यूज़ में भी होते हैं. इसकी भी सब टाइप्स हैं ए, बी और सी, ठीक है. ए और बी जो सब टाइप है, इट इज़ कंट्रोलिंग द मूड, बट सी सब टाइप इज़ डिक्रीजिंग द एपिटाइट, ठीक है. सो वी हैव डिस्कस दैट. नाउ मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ रिसेप्टर. So now this is the next type of receptor, which is the 5-HT3 receptor. This is ligand gated. I have explained to you. It is present in the central nervous system or also present in the peripheral, and it is working as a emesis. So it is causing you the emesis to you by eating cancerous drug or by after the surgery. So these receptor will stimulate it out, and they will cause the emesis. Third receptor is the 5-HT4 receptor. So it's located in central nervous system, in JIT or in CVS, mean cardiovascular system. So they have a little bit effect on your heart functions also, but the effect on the heart is very negligible. That will not discuss that. So the next is 5-HT5, 6, and 7. They all are located on CNS and playing important role in the mood regulation. Next, in your syllabus, only the serotonin antagonists are included out, so therefore we will discuss only it. So they are also called as serotogeneric antagonists, as we have discussed here. What is serotogeneric nerve, and what are the serotogeneric antagonists? So they are antagonists of serotonin. They are not allowing the serotonin to bind at its receptor; they bind itself into it. So actually they are competitive antagonist of these receptors. So like this is a serotonin, it doesn't allow it to bind here, they itself bind with at that side and decrease the serotonin activity. So the first antagonist is the 5-H3 receptor antagonist, जो सिर्फ इसी receptor का antagonist होगा, use for the anti emesis को stop करने के लिए, also called as anti serotonin. Which are the drugs which are used for the antihistamine? So these are the drugs we have discussed yet when we have discussed the chapter in which we have discussed the drugs acting on GIT, and the first topic in that chapter is the anti-emesis. So we have discussed these drugs at that side. So in the parietal cells, this 5-H3 receptor is present, serotonin bind with it and cause the emesis by sending signals to the brain center, brain vomiting center, and through which the vomiting occurs. So also on the CTZ area, these receptors are also present, and at that site it also causes the serotonin bind with it and also cause the uh, uh, MSS. So on the parietal cells, I am writing it CTZ area of the brain. So let's consider that this is the CTZ area of brain. On CTZ, other receptors are also present, but serotonin bind with it and cause the stimulation of vomiting center, and after that the vomiting occur. So it used anti-MSS drug after the surgery or after eating a cancerous drug. So mostly they are used in that case. The next type of anti-serotonergic drug is the antihistaminic, as well as it has some properties of serotonin drug. So the drug included in it is the ciproheptadine drug. This is a first generation drug. So let's discuss how it is used for. So it is used to treat the allergic symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and lot of headache and other things. And also it used to increase the appetite, to weight gain in various child who cannot gain their weight. So we will give these ciproheptadine to them to increase the appetite. As a result, they will eat more and more food, and the weight gain will occur in them. So the next is drug treating the mental disorders. A lot of diseases are treated by it, because serotonin is a neurotransmitter related to the brain. So whenever the levels of serotonin are disturbed, mental disorder will occur. So we can treat it out like the two drugs, olazapine and haloperidol. They are also used. We have discussed the haloperidol in the in some topic, like if you are revising, then it is also used as an anti-emesis drug in the class of butyraphenol, as we have discussed it as the dopamine antagonist. They are used as an anti-emetic drug. So they are also used as an antipsychotic medication. मीन ये क्या करता है, दो तरह की डिजीज को ट्रीट करता है. एक डिजीज है सिजोफ्रेनिया और एक है बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर. ये दोनों एक मेंटल डिसऑर्डर्स हैं. अब क्या होता है इनमें, क्योंकि ये आपने वर्ड्स पहली दफ़ा सुने होंगे, तो इनकी डेफिनेशंस देख लें ताकि आपको इसका कॉन्सेप्ट पता हो, कि अगर आपको कोई पूछे वाइवा में कि सिजोफ्रेनिया को ट्रीट करने के लिए हम कौन सी दवाई देते हैं या सिजोफ्रेनिया है क्या, तो आप लोगों को ये चीज़ पता हो कि सिजोफ्रेनिया एक मेंटल डिसऑर्डर है इन विच पर्सन सीज द थिंग्स विच डोंट एग्जिस्ट. तो कि वो पर्सन, जो पेशेंट होगा, वो ऐसी चीज़ें देखना शुरू हो जाएगा जो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करती हैं. तो इस बीमारी को हम सिजोफ्रेनिया कहते हैं. इसमें जस्ट यही हुआ होता है कि सेरोटोनिन के लेवल बहुत ज़्यादा हाई हो जाते हैं. तो उस पर्सन को सिजोफ्रेनिया हो जाता है. इसी तरह बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर्स क्या होते हैं कि मूड, ये डिसऑर्डर है कि मूड बहुत ज़्यादा हमारा डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है. कभी कभार ये पेशेंट बहुत ज़्यादा हैप्पी हो जाते हैं, कभी कभार ये बहुत ज़्यादा सैड हो जाते हैं. ये एक ऐसा डिसऑर्डर है विच इज़ करेक्टराइज बाय द एपिसोड्स ऑफ हैप्पीनेस एंड द एपिसोड्स ऑफ डिप्रेशन. सो ये पेशेंट कभी कभार बहुत हैप्पी, फिर एकदम से डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं, फिर एकदम से हैप्पी हो जाएंगे, फिर एकदम से डिप्रेशन में चले जाएंगे. नॉर्मली एक पर्सन में इस तरह नहीं होता है. ठीक है, एक नॉर्मल स्टेट आती है. कभी हम बहुत ज़्यादा खुश होते हैं, कभी हम नॉर्मल हो जाते हैं, कभी फिर हम सैडनेस की तरफ चले जाते हैं, फिर हम नॉर्मल हो जाते हैं. इस तरह हमारा साइकिल होता है. बट इन लोगों का ये है कि कभी बहुत ज़्यादा हैप्पीनेस और कभी बहुत ज़्यादा डिप्रेशन. सो ये उन लोगों को भी हम फिर इस तरह की मेडिसिन देते हैं ताकि वो ठीक हो सके. अच्छा, अब serotonin agonist, I have not discussed it here because it not included in the syllabus, but I am just giving you a overview. That serotonin agonist का मतलब क्या है, that your body is not secreting the proper levels of serotonin, and levels of serotonin is very less. As I explained, that serotonin is a happy hormone. Whenever it released, it increased the happiness within you. So if the levels of serotonin are very low, it's mean you are in the depression, you are sad. So so the person, we can give serotonin agonist to those person whose sadness or depression is high. So what kind of symptoms occur in that patient whose serotonin level is very low? They will got the symptom of migraine. So they will got the headache, and various kind of headaches are there, but not, we don't discuss them here. Just keep in mind that whenever the serotonin levels are decreased, we give that patient the serotonin agonist, and they are used to treat the migraine. And so this was all about your this lecture. I hope that you will like this video. If you like it, then thumbs up it up, and also press the bell icon to get the more videos about this channel. So thank you so much for subscribing to me, and welcome to our this YouTube channel. So make sure that you also press the bell icon to get the new videos which I will upload it in the future. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.